Are you wondering how to charge your Stark Varg in different scenarios? Well, stick around because we're going to show you what we were able to do in the charging methods for the Stark Varg EX right here on Always Moto YouTube channel. But you'll never guess what the last option was that we tried, and I bet you don't think it would even work at all. So stick around, we've got some interesting stuff here in this one. So now that you're an electric dirt bike rider, there's a bit of retraining required. Not just muscle memory for the riding aspect, but your muscle memory for preparing for your ride. There's no more mixing gas and hauling ass, as they say. Now you're going to plug it in and get a shocking spin. We're going to go through and show you the different ways we've charged the Stark Varg EX so far. Some of these might surprise you, and the whole idea here is simple. Have the right amount of battery for the right amount of riding time. The Stark Varg is actually very easy to charge. Using the bike stand, you simply plug into the bike, plug into your power source, select the options on the Arkenstone screen, and wait. That's pretty much it. But realistically, there are 3 power sources that you can use to charge. The first one being charging from your power point at home. This can happen at whatever rate your house is capable of supplying power. For me, I'm on off-grid solar, so I chose to charge in the middle of the day when the sun is doing the heavy lifting. I charged at about 1.6 kilowatts, and it usually takes right around that 3-hour mark to get back to 100% when it was down around that 20% mark. I also charged at a mate's house who was on grid, and he was able to have a charge rate at a bit higher rate of 3.2 kilowatts. Now, I only used that to top up the battery during a ride day, and it went from about 10% to 30% in roughly 15 to 20 minutes. So your power source capabilities will extremely impact your speed of charge and a couple of the settings that you should put on the dash of the Arkenstone screen there. The second option for charging is the generator at the track. This is what you're likely doing when you're there camping or at a race to keep the bike going. Now, I used a Honda generator, and it's capable of doing a reasonable charge rate. Now, the best method for this use with the generator is to keep the bike, topping the bike up between your races and between your ride schedule so that it never really gets too low. If you manage to do that throughout the day, you'll have your rides covered reasonably well. Option 3, a solar camp panel. Now, I bet you didn't think this was going to work at all, and I didn't expect much from it, to be honest. I figured it would be slower. I figured it would be maybe a little bit more pleasant sounding because you wouldn't have the generator running in the background. And I plugged this into the trailer that we have at the track that has a car battery in it and an inverter, and we thought we'd see what we got.
And we got absolutely nothing, basically. We plugged it in, it turned on like it was about to charge. We left it for a few minutes and essentially no charge was put into the bike. So that was a bit of an epic fail, but we tried.
So the takeaway here is pretty simple. You need to understand what your charging outlet is capable of and plan your charging time around how long you actually want to ride. Once you do that, it all makes sense. And honestly, it's still easier than trying to mix your pump gas at 32 to 1. I'm David Hogan, this is an Always Moto production, and that's how you can charge your Stark Varg. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. If you want to support our channel, please do so, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you at the track.